going on, folks, and welcome to another Scum video. I hope you all do well, and thank you so much for all your ongoing support. It really and truly is incredible, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you very much, everyone. Now, this is something I tend to stick away from because it changes from time to time. Now, we're going to be taking a look at the cooking, so you're going to have to bear with me on this one, guys, because we're going to be trying this out now, like right now, right here. And seeing how it goes, etc. And there's a load of bug fixes in this update and performance fixes as well. Now, this is something that the devs are working tirelessly on to try and fix, because it's just, there's always issues with updates and they need hot fixes as such. And, you know, they're doing their best to get things done. But the amount of FPS fixes and client-side stuff they've changed is really cool. But before I go on, before we start the cooking and that, I just want to show you guys something quickly. Pretty sure there's something wrong with the textures of these trees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down this tree here, and you're going to see something straight away. If you are used to playing Scum, then you'll notice straight away. So you'll probably notice there's no floating logs anymore, which was like a shame to see before, but you know, it happens, and they fixed it, and it's awesome. You know, it's best to get things done correctly and not rushed, etc., and all that good stuff. So now, there was a problem with bushes and everything on the game being duplicated, which obviously would give a lot of performance issues and all that stuff. So that's just one of the things. The link is down in the description below, so make sure to go and check through these, because there's a lot of stuff. I'm not going to go through everything in there, but the optimisations, it's all in the link down below, like the weather and everything like that, and all that good stuff as well. So what we're going to do, we've got a fire here, we've made the fire, and what we're going to do is we're going to put some meat, and we're going to sort of just spread it out like this, and we're going to see how quickly this cooks. Also, there is now an examine mode, which is what I was trying to do on one of the past streams, and it didn't seem to work. So obviously you can see the fire here, and the radius of the fire obviously is the distance away from the fire where the meat is from the fire. So we're going to see how that's going to go. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, if I hold F over it and click examine, you'll see in the, okay, that's not working right now, hold on. Check taste. So it says that one is warm. If I check this one, it says it's warm as well. If you look on the left hand side there, let's just check the taste there. So obviously this one's raw, so as you can see, the further it is away, obviously it's getting less cooked. And you will also notice the audible sound. Can you hear that? The sizzling. That's the sound of your food being cooked. Now at the same time, what we're going to do is we're going to put, I've got some skewers here, some pre-made skewers. So we're going to put some meat around here too. So we've got a small skewer and we've actually got a large skewer. So I'm going to put them there. And if you hold F over the skewer as well, you can check the taste. So obviously you can see at the moment it's raw. And it's all dependent on where you actually put these. So, you know, that small skewer might be a little bit far away. It might take a little longer to cook. But the cooking now does take time. So you can see that you have to sit there and cook it. Now, there is a meter on the left-hand side, as you can see. 4 green bars under the meat. If you see that green bar just there. So obviously if that goes all the way down, then it degrades. Apparently there is an issue with item degradation, in obviously with food especially. So it's something they may have to split up from actual items to food items as well, because people are complaining that they've got food stored away and it's just degrading twice as fast. Now when stuff comes in, obviously when more parts of the base fortifications and stuff come in, and you can have stuff like fridges, which is what they've actually said before, and you can power your fridge, then hopefully you can store the food in there and it won't degrade and it won't go off. But that's obviously for another time. So that one's now saying it's raw. It's warm but raw. So that's gonna take a little bit of time to cook. So I'm gonna throw a few things on the screen here from the actual updates and stuff like that, like the optimization stuff. They've actually removed the lowest shadow settings as well, so you can't actually let's just have a quick look. So if you go to options of video, so if you go to shadow precision, that's on. You can't go to a lowest setting there, and obviously for dynamic shadows quality, you can't go to the lowest setting on them either. I can't actually remember if they actually had the lowest on there. Shadow resolution, let's just turn that up a little bit more. But as you can see, you can't turn the shadows down entirely, because the issue with that was people were sort of taking advantage of the lowest shadows and getting, you know, more advantage in PvP, or having more advantage in PvP rather, and all that stuff as well. So, you know, the game really is coming along nicely, and there's going to be teething problems, there's going to be issues, and as you can imagine, they're not easy to fix. Now, this is a open world survival. You know, it is. The whole concept is that you're a prisoner on an island, and you know everything needs to be working, like the cooking system and stuff like that. But I am so happy now that you can just hold F over it and check the taste. Let me just put that back on now. So you can see that that one is now burning. So that one is too close to the fire, but we're going to keep that there anyway, so you guys can see. The second one away is warm but raw, so you can see. You can see that that one there is too close. This one here is too close. But we're going to keep it there because the textures do change on the meat as well. As you can see, this one's already started to change colour. But we're going to leave that there for a little while. I'm just going to go and get a stick. Let's go and get a stick, and then we can fuel the fire a little bit more. You don't have to. You can let the fire burn down. Which they do recommend, because otherwise it's going to be too hot to cook. But for the purpose of this, I don't want the fire to go out. So let's fuel the fire with the wooden stick, which is awesome because you can actually fuel fire. You can even fuel fire with the rags, but we're going to use the sticks at the minute. So we're going to see how. Let's see how this stuff's getting on here. This is looking cooked. Let's have a look. Hot and burned. Right, okay, so we burnt that. And that's hot and burned as well. So, if we take the small skewer with 3 pieces of meat, and you can see the difference, by the way. If I put another one here, can you see the difference there of how they look? You can now see that one's cooked and one's, well, raw, pretty much. And this is just really cool, because it takes time to cook. You don't just like right click and then you get the timer and then it just cooks. It takes time to cook, so you have to actually like make a little base, settle down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat this. So we're going to eat that. It is burnt. I like my food well done, personally. So we're actually going to sit here and eat this. So there's some weather optimisations that have been done as well. There's the weather controller on the client side, where they say here that they're giving our CPU a little breather. It should result in better client performance, more FPS. Different dedicated server optimizations. It should result in better server performance, less lag. So they're constantly trying to do this. They know there's an issue with performance at the moment, guys. Now, if you are running complete potato PCs, then don't expect a smooth experience. And at the same time, if you've got a potato internet, don't expect, you know, there to be no lag or anything like that. Because if you've got potato internet, then you're going to be having them issues. Because don't forget, you are connecting to a server with dozens and dozens of other people as well. So you need to have a stable internet connection for that. But there's so much here. They've lowered the heat effects of candle and torch items as well. Items transfer heat slower, so if they are contained within clothing items and clothes and backpacks, items no longer reach cooking temperatures while in clothes or hands. Right, okay. So that might have gone against something I said earlier. So let me check the taste of that. So if I sit by the fire, my fat that I've got in here is raw. So they may have just fixed that then, because there's so many here I might have missed one. Resolve the issue where meat would continue sizzling after being eaten. Resize the quad of a bit so it doesn't look like a toy quad anymore. Now we do actually have a quad over here. This is what I used to get to this location. I really like the look of this. It's nice, and it looks quite realistic as well. And you can actually store stuff in there too. So as you can see, my piece of meat here, check taste, burnt and overcooked, just how I like it. Burning and overcooked, that one there. And this one here still says it's warm and raw, so it's going to take time, but we're still going to leave that a little bit longer just to see how that does turn out as well. I'm just going to go out the game for 2 seconds because I'm looking at the optimisations and everything while I'm actually doing this, so I can give you guys a better idea of what's in this update. There is a lot there. There is a lot there. So yeah, they fixed the bug where trees and bushes would appear to be duplicated. Now that's going to really mess up performance. Fixed the fire damage being frame rate dependent. Before, fire would do different damage values depending on the server performance. Now it's always the same. They fixed the quad scale, fixed item and event duplication bug, and also fixed the fame points for events as well. And check this out. Yes, that's right. You hurt if you go on a fire now. And if you sit on the fire, your health goes down pretty quick. So let's just heal ourselves there a little bit. I mean, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to burn most of the meat here. But as you can see, that was the one this was the one we put down earlier on. So if I hold F over that, go down to check taste, hot and burned. So, you know, what you really want to do is just move this, like, it would probably be better to keep it about that far away from the fire. And this one as well is hot and burned too. And if you use your scroll wheel, guys, you can change the position of where you want to put this. So even if I pick this one up, you can scroll wheel it, put it over there. So that seems like a good distance to cook nice and slow. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to grab a small stick just so I can fuel the fire a little bit more. There we go. So it's going to take a little bit of time, I think, for these ones to check that one now. Warm and raw. Warm and raw. So that one's burning there. So technically, you can even scroll wheel here too. I would probably say, like, here's a good distance. Like, these might be too far away actually. These ones aren't even being touched by the fire. That one's raw. What's this one say? Warm and raw. So, realistically, if I take these 3 pieces of meat, that is the distance that you're really going to cook stuff at. I mean, you can see from here that even might even be too far away there. But I would say probably about there, maybe a little bit closer, and around there for the meat, like a foot away or something. But if you keep it here, like 2 foot away from the fire, it's going to literally take forever to cook. So, you know, around that close, I would say. Definitely. And it's cooking the meat fine. There's no issues at all. And if anyone's worried about making fires and other people seeing them, you can't really see that from here. I mean, even if you lay down, like, or crouch, you know, you're not really gonna see that fire. But I can't wait for there to be sort of grills and stuff like that. But it would be cool, guys, if we could get a discussion about what could be used for cooking and such, on the comments of this video when it uploads. So that would be really cool. It was something I didn't really want to put down right now on the channel because I know cooking changes a lot, but I think this is basically how it's going to be. It works. That's the most important thing. It works, and it's fairly realistic in terms of putting meat by the fire and it cooks, you know, rather than just a scroll thing and then it cooks in 2 seconds. But it would be cool to sort of create, like, maybe a grate, you know, maybe with a bit of barbed wire, or if you have a load of wire or something, if you have to find wire, and a couple of sticks and some rope, then you could make your own sort of grill. That would be cool, and then you could put the meat on top of the grill, but then, you know, that might be too close. Or you have to wait for the fire to go down. But that's pretty much it there, guys. I'm really sorry it's not the most interesting of videos, but a lot of people always ask about the cooking, and that's how I do it. Just put your meat down there. Just put it near the fire like this. Nice and simple, and just don't put the skewers too close, and just hold F over it. Scroll, just go down to check taste, and you can see on the left it will tell you. So mine's warmed and burned, which is pretty much, that's who I am, alright? Don't judge. I always burn food. I can't even cook toast. I mean, can you even cook toast? That is the question. But yeah, I'm not much of a chef, to say the very least. So yeah, with that being said, guys, look after yourselves, stay safe, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.